We're just going to take a quick look at the CodePlayer.com as we did in class. Just to make sure that it all makes sense, we did the demo that showed us that this is one of the environments that people are using these days to learn about HTML, CSS3, JavaScript, and more. And certainly we'll use a number of tools in the class. And what we looked at in the lecture time was a sample here. See, I'm scrolling through. You can see there's all sorts of things you could learn from. But the one that we looked at in class was this one where we were drawing over and over again these binary trees. So it was this one down here. So you click on that. What you get is a little option to go through the code. Do that on your own time for sure. But I'm just going to jump right into this and remind you that what we've got here are the three components that create these web apps. There's the HTML, and this is the thing that probably a lot of you have seen before. The CSS that kind of gives us the ability to create special effects and things that augment the view of what's going on with the web app. But this is where the rubber hits the road for us. This is the JavaScript. This is the thing that really allows us to do a lot of powerful things, like have this animation be redrawn over and over again in a particular way associated with this binary tree. And in this environment, what you can do is go in and start to learn a little bit about code just by reading it. We said, hey, each one of these three things have some comments. The comments are all in the same color. The comments are for us to read, and that helps us. So you can start to walk through and understand what goes on here. You can also play with it by reaching in and changing some of the values. So if I come down here and I take a look at some of the code, even if I don't know what all of this is, a lot of the code itself is written to use things that might be somewhat readable, like start points and length of things. And then there's going to be things that we might not understand right away, like this little notion of what functions are and how they work. We're going to get into that, though. We're going to understand it pretty soon. But to start with, I would just really, give you the sense that you can't hurt anything here. Go ahead and change anything. If, say, for example, I wanted to change, and that just highlighted a function, this function called init, when I clicked on it, I wanted to change this variable down here called line width. The comment says this is the width of the branch or trunk. I want to see what this does. It's a 10. What happens if I make it 100? Oh my goodness. What happens if I make it 1,000? Holy cow. This controller thing is going to be a lot of fun to play with. So just stop this video for a second and think, what are the key components of any web app? And then come back, play it, and we'll talk about what I'm trying to convey here. Okay, if you thought about it a little bit, came to mind was something we mentioned in class. It was that we have a principle associated with some of the things that we're doing here, and it's actually a design pattern. It's called Model View Controller. And though it's hard to see in this first example that you're working with, we kind of identify the HTML as setting up a model for us, the CSS to modify its view, and the JavaScript to actually be the controller. And that's where we're going to have a lot of fun in this course.